right along. Joining us now is Stephen Loy, heads up Nexus, Louisiana. Stephen, welcome aboard, sir. How are you, man?
Good morning, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing well. Let me first of all start with happy anniversary.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Nexus, Louisiana, celebrating 30 years, coming up when?
Yeah, it's coming up this Friday.
Okay.
This coming Friday. So we started out with we were actually created by the legislature to help create research parks. And as things evolved, that just wasn't so much as necessary so the organization started looking around and help grow incubators. And so with that, that was the birth of the Louisiana Technology Park.
So Nexus, Louisiana's 30th anniversary,
Right.
But not the Tech Park's 30th, right?
No, the Tech Park actually opened its doors in July of 2001.
Thank goodness, because
Yeah.
I was feeling unbelievably old.
I know.
So that's still 21 years.
Exactly.
As well.
It is. It
But
is.
yeah, the Tech Park has been, it is part of Baton Rouge. It's just, I remember when it was evolving and created, and there was so much question about what actually is going to go into that. There was so much doubt as far as this isn't what we do in Louisiana. It's not who we are.
Exactly.
But y'all have managed to find a way to continue to evolve, continue to grow your footprint,
Right.
and shape what that footprint is. Walk me through a little bit of the last 30 years and how that evolution has happened.
Yeah, so like I said, we opened our doors in 2001 with the idea of being an incubator for technology companies, because our history is with petrochemical and industrial corridor, and that's great, but we always want to diversify our economy. And so part of that is when they said you need, if you want technology companies, you need something to help attract them. So that's when at the time we got a data center, which is called Venue, which is an enterprise class data center. And at the time, everyone was like, there's no way a data center can survive in Baton Rouge. And sure enough, Venue did thrive. They opened up another data center across the hallway in Bon Carré, and they've doubled their size. With that, that really helps add a lot of the back end of what our technology companies need as far as bandwidth and helping with trying to help as the cloud started to form, the IT cloud, not the ones that are outside.
No. Appropriate today.
Yeah, that's right. So they needed technical assistance. So that was there for them. And then also too, as technology started to grow, when we opened up in 2001, a technology company had anywhere from 20 to 30 people in-house under one roof. Now, thanks to iPhones and the app economy, things have all changed. And then even with the pandemic, things have changed. But that still doesn't diminish the technology companies that are here in Baton Rouge. We've had a lot of success stories. One is Self Control, which started off in the tech park. They moved out years ago, but they have a device that helps prevent distracted driving.
Okay.
And other ones, we just had one called Mastery Prep, which started in the tech park with Craig Gehring and two other guys. Now they have over 60 people, and they help first-generation students go to college. And they just had a successful exit, and it's probably one of the largest. We can't disclose the figure, but it's one of the largest ones probably of its kind in Baton Rouge.
Wait, what does successful exit mean?
So that means that a group of investors out of the West Coast in California saw what Craig and Mastery Prep was doing, saw their numbers. Not only is they're doing good for the community, but they're making money at doing it. And they saw that other local investors, angel investors, were also investing in the company. And they said, hey, I think we can do something with that. So we want to invest in that. So they bought the company.
Is that the goal?
It really is for a lot of companies. For some companies, you want to just be a Main Street company, and what that means is it's all family owned, and we're happy with where we are. Maybe we have a handful of employees, and we don't want to grow outside of our footprint, and that's great. But a lot of companies, especially technology companies, what they want to do is really grow and grow quickly, and you do that with outside investment, and that's like angels, and then from there you go to venture capitalists. And then that helps you. And then an exit like what Mastery Prep had, those local angel investors who invested with Craig years ago are now seeing a return on their money. And so they're happy about that, but also they have some change in their pocket and they're able to invest in other tech companies too.
Talk with Stephen Loy from Nexus, Louisiana, celebrating their 30th anniversary coming up on Friday. All right, Stephen, technology covers so much ground. When you say tech companies, that is all over the map. How have y'all gone about finding specialties, or have you had to find specialties, or do you just leave it up to the companies as they come across your table?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's something that we have really struggled with because we've had some people that come to us and say, hey, we're a tech company because we have a website. It's like, well, that's not exactly, I mean, that's true. E-commerce is important, but to help our strengths, we figured that we needed to help those companies that have a unique technology or they use technology in a unique way. So usually if you have a programmer or someone like that on your staff, then that's a good indication for us that you have a technology company, something that we can help you with. But even if that's not in our in our wheelhouse, then we want to connect you to like the LSU SBDC, to SCORE, and Southern's SBDC. There are other entrepreneur organizations out there than just us, and we have a growing ecosystem here of support organizations as well.
How diverse is that ecosystem? I mean, how many different fields within technology, how many different fields does that really span across? Everything, or?
Yeah, it can span across everything for what we work with. Is that what you're asking? Yeah, absolutely. So everything from business to business to consumers. We have video games. We have one company called King Crow Studio who started working with video games, VR video games, and then they were connected with ExxonMobil, and from there they got a contract up in Barksville with Air Force Base, and they have a $6 million contract with the Air Force with B-52 bombers. So it really just spans the gamut.
Is there a conscious effort to follow? This is going to sound awful. By the way, talking with Stephen Loy from Nexus, Louisiana. This is going to sound awful when I say it, but just follow me. Is there a conscious effort to follow what's hot in tech? I know it was biomedicine for a little while. I remember when the video game came on board.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity is probably what's next.
Absolutely.
Are y'all making a conscious effort to chase after that? Or is it you just take it as it comes?
You do need to keep an eye on the market because that's also where the puck is going, but that's also where investors want to go as well. And investors sometimes drive the train with that. So you have to know where in the market. And so it's always good to know where things like that are going in the future.
Now, I always associate when it comes to Nexus Louisiana and the Louisiana Tech Park, the different events that y'all have throughout the year. The high stakes pitch, the pitch BR,
right? Yeah.
Brew is always big in that one. How much has that netted y'all partnerships and grown that ecosystem?
Yeah, it's really helped out a lot because people have liked to come together, especially entrepreneurs. If you're an entrepreneur, you feel like you're on an island and you feel like you're the only one who's having this problem. Odds are 20 other people are having the exact same problem. So if you're able to come together and talk to like-minded entrepreneurs or even support people or funders, that really helps out a lot. So this year, Baton Rouge Entrepreneurship Week is May 1st through 5th, through 6th, going all the way to Saturday with Lemonade Day. And then that Friday is high stakes pitch, which is where 3 companies will pitch for a very large sum of investment dollars. But throughout that week, we're going to be hearing from and helping support entrepreneurs, not just technology entrepreneurs. We want to help. This is all about all technologies in our region, from K through 12 all the way up to more seasoned technologists or entrepreneurs.
What are some of your biggest, I don't want to say roadblocks, but challenges? You mentioned angel investor and venture capital.
Yeah.
Is that hard to come by in Louisiana?
It's getting better. It is getting better because you have like Mastery Prep that has an exit. International or Mezzo Technologies earlier in the year also had a successful exit, and we have things like Red Stick Angels Group that's coming together. But really, the biggest roadblock right now is workforce. Just trying to get good qualified workers.
Oh yeah, I would imagine. I would imagine that's affecting everywhere. So
it is. Well. Yeah.
Mastery Prep sells out to a company on the West Coast. Is the ultimate goal selling within Louisiana?
It can be. It doesn't necessarily have to be. The great thing about Mastery Prep is that they're keeping the headquarters here in Baton Rouge. They're keeping Craig as the CEO.
Okay.
So it's really they saw what they had and they didn't want to mess up the apple cart. So they just basically have bought into the company, and it's really a positive thing all around.
You mentioned Mezzo Technologies. What do they do?
So they create tiny heat exchange devices. They originally started with in tanks, and now their products are also in Indy cars. And so they're they started in Bon Carré, and now they're off in Industrial Plex.
So with their success, where does that take them? Let me re-ask. Is there a point where y'all are done with them? I mean, did you just grow and foster and hand off?
So like Mezzo was never part of the tech park. They were in Bon Carré.
Okay.
So that was one of those companies that grew without we helped them and we were a partner with them, but they weren't necessarily in the tech park. Mastery Prep, there comes a time when Craig becomes actually more on our side of helping entrepreneurs than being the entrepreneur himself. And I see that there's a time probably when he starts his own another technology company.
Okay.
And that's what you want. That's how Silicon Valley started with the when HP kind of flipped out. All those people that were that are investors and worked for HP had some wealth, and they saw what you could do and started creating their own companies and started investing, and it's just snowballed.
It snowballs from there. Yeah. You grow a company who grows two companies who grows two companies.
Exactly.
I mean, that's where it goes. So 30 years in the books as of Friday. What's the next 30 looking like? What are the goals?
I think, but just always trying to, like you said, keep an eye on forward thinking, making sure that we're here for the community and whatever that may look like. If we can't help you, we want to find someone who can, and just always working with our partners to help move Baton Rouge forward.
He is Stephen Loy from Nexus, Louisiana, celebrating their 30th anniversary coming up Friday. I appreciate a couple minutes this morning.
Yeah, thank you, Brian.
Absolutely. Thank you. We're getting you to